I always thought my dreams were just mine. But then I met a woman who had the ability to enter my dreams. And I realized she wasn't the only one.
Do you ever get the feeling your dreams are trying to tell you something?
What's your name?
Help me, and I will help you find your son.
I don't have a son.
You want to bet?
It's dreams that connect us. What we don't know is how those connections work.
What now?
Close your eyes. Now dream.
For most citizens of the world, they're either dreaming or awake. But for people with a little know-how, there's no gap at all.
You're real. I didn't just dream you.
Of course not.
What do they want?
They want to unleash the same kind of anarchy that your dreams have unleashed on you.
What happened?
We were attacked.
And what about your son?
He always just slips out of my fingers.
Who is he?
Big key to everything.
We need her now. The boy's been taken.
How do I find her?
That place is the lion's den. You'll be lucky to come back at all.
You look like you got run over in your sleep.
Don't you wish you could control your dreams like that?
Oh my God, yes I do, especially today.
We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's go back to the show. We had, right, I know. We had David here, and
The best.
dreamy David.
In every way.
In every way.
Yeah.
That was even a pun, and I didn't intend it to be one. There
It's
you go.
unavoidable with this show.
How did you come to do the show? I mean, it has an amazing pedigree.
Thank you. I actually auditioned for Tess first, which is the role played by Lizzie Brochary. And they were like, yeah, no, but maybe for this. And they ended up bringing me back in for Olivia, which I guess spoke to them more, but also spoke to me more as well. And we did a few rounds. I actually had to self-tape with my darling little sister who is working on her PhD in biology, shout out. And I was just like, don't make eye contact with me because she's trying to like seduce you. So just like, don't look at me, just read the lines. And we sent in that tape, and with her help, they had me back in. I did a few more rounds of auditioning. They worked with me, and I booked the gig.
And so at what point did you meet David?
I met
You're
David,
his mysterious lover / not / maybe?
Precisely. I met David. After we both booked the role. I think he was the first one to book the show, and I was one of the last. And we met at a rehearsal. We had a rehearsal a week or two before we started the pilot, the first episode, and we dove right in. That if you've seen the show, there's our first scene together is we're both naked and like getting out of the shower, and we started with that scene on the day that we met.
Really?
Yeah,
So you like go to work and they're like, okay, hi, nice to meet you,
Yeah.
and roll.
And let's do this. Yeah, it was like that.
How do you get comfortable?
Well, I have a personal philosophy that's like, you can't really hold yourself back on these kind of things because I feel like it reads inauthentic when you're hesitating with stuff like love or anger or these like really heightened emotions. So I don't think I can say it, but it's F it. What do I have to lose?
You could
I
say it,
can?
yeah.
Fuck it. That's my sort of philosophy to all these things. What do I have to lose? I also use music a lot. So I make a playlist for every character. And, whatever makes the woman in red feel sexy, I have a few of those songs. Whatever makes her feel scared or sad or hopeless. So I have a few songs that sort of speak to each of those big emotions and help me start to embody whatever I need to feel on that day.
So when you need to get into sexy mode, what music do you listen to?
I listen to I Put a Spell on You by Annie Lennox. I mean, there's several amazing I Put a Spells on You. That's one of my go-tos. Witchy Woman, Magic Woman. There's even some music works. It really speaks to me on a sort of carnal level.
Well, you play music.
I do, yeah. I play piano and a little guitar.
And mandolin.
Yeah, a little mandolin. I'd liked it to play more, but yeah. So even instrumental stuff, as long as it like taps into that, drums are sexy. Like you don't need lyrics to feel sexy. There's a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? To music that sort of clicks me into that, which is really helpful.
And I know the show is very twisty and very, very complex and layered. What can you say about the plot involving you specifically?
Well, I'd have to officially confirm that with the creator, so I'll keep it safe. But what I can say is that my character, the woman in red, loves Burton very much with all her heart and soul, and that their love is real and true and pure, and that their circumstances might not be conducive to a practical, pragmatic relationship, but love trumps all. And
Oh, nice one.
and so she fights tooth and nail with all of her being for her love.
The show is just, I mean, it really sticks with you. What did you think when you first read the script?
I think I was stunned the first time I read it, and then I had to read it a few times. And it does stick with you. It was one of the more sort of haunting projects that I've ever had the privilege of working on. You could physically leave work, but you could never mentally leave work or emotionally leave work. And it demanded a very all-encompassing commitment to it. It was very much almost like a lifestyle while we were shooting it. But I was stunned the first time I read a script, and I really wanted to be a part of it.
Do you keep track of your dreams at all in real life?
I don't write them down unless they're so weird and stunning that I journal. And so sometimes my dreams get incorporated into that. But no, but now that I'm on the show, I make more note of them. I'm more aware of them, and I guess analyze them more, at least consider them more. Yeah, I do. I'm not saying I don't know that I'm like, oh, this means that, but I do I do sort of make note of them more and consider them and see if I can gain some new perspective from them or some helpful guidance from them.
And you were saying that shooting the show almost required a lifestyle change. What was it like being in production? I imagine pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean, my actual workload wasn't as heavy as, Will's or Lizzie's or David's, but it just was sort of relentless and unforgiving mentally and emotionally for all of us, I think. So it was hard to, I feel like for at least for me when I was shooting the show, I couldn't just walk through life without being like, what, that's a weird, like just noticing like weird coincidences around me now. Like there's this graffiti near me that is a green crown, like on the show, which was like, how did that happen of all things? Stuff like that. It just made me a little more suspicious, but like in a fun way. Just
aware.
What's all this mean? I mean, I was probably just like fucking with myself, but just like, it made life a little bit more of a game in a way.
Well, you've been working for quite some time. I know this is the first show that you're headlining. When did you first get into acting, and how?
I started acting when I was really young. I mean, I did community theater at like 6, 7 through my senior year of high school. My senior year of high school, I went to an acting high school, which is where I met my husband, and then I went to acting college for 4 years, also with my husband. And yeah, I've just kind of been doing it the whole time. I did dance and stuff like that. I always loved to, honestly, I love to be the center of attention, which is not, it's a flaw, but I also love to entertain people. I really do, and I love to help open hearts and minds and make people feel connected to one another. So I think dance does that. I think music does that, and acting is where I find myself these days.
When was the moment when you realized that you wanted to do this full time, that there was no fallback plan?
I weirdly just started acting and then just kind of never stopped. I was so lucky to have parents that were like, yeah, next level. Okay, next level. Okay, let's go check out this high school program. All right, let's go check out this college. All right, let's work on your audition. There was never I just kind of was an actor and wanted to be an actor, and nobody ever made me feel like I couldn't be. So I just did. And that being said, I'm incredibly lucky because it's not, yes, it's hard work and talent, but it's like much more than that. It's luck, right time, right place, all that stuff. I'm so lucky that it worked out and is working out for me. But as far as pursuing it, I just started pursuing it and kind of just never stopped. I'm also hopelessly optimistic, so I just never thought that it wouldn't work out. I was just like, yeah, we're fine, we got this, no worries. Which is also sometimes a flaw, but I think served me in this particular way.
Well, I think if you weren't optimistic and you did have a backup plan, my guess would be that you probably would have done something else, because acting is really hard.
Yeah, it's a tough business, and yeah, I think before you get into it, if you look at it realistically, it's not like a very stable or secure career path to choose. But I just didn't think that way. I just was like, no, I'm going to be successful at it, and I luckily, dumb luck, I was right.
And I have to say, I follow you on Twitter, and your Twitter was quite impressive last night, going into today.
Yeah. Yep.
Since last night was kind of a big news day.
It was, one of the biggest news
yeah.
days in a long time, I guess.
Have you always been political?
Yeah. I was telling I had a few friends over last night. I was at a Clinton rally for his first, before he was president. When he was running for president, my parents took me to a Clinton rally in Charlotte, I think it was, North Carolina. I grew up in North Carolina, and I would go with my parents to the polls every year. They would let me, like, I don't know if back then there was a switch, and they would let me, like, do the switch. I've just always been political. I also ran in vain, never won, not once, but every time that you could run for, like, student council office, I did, and I literally never won, because it is a popularity contest when you're a kid, and I guess not when you're a kid, too.
Which office did you run for?
Oh, you name it. Treasury, secretary, vice president, president. And then, like, at camp, I would run. I would just always run, and I never won. But I just always ran. Yeah, I just love politics. I really do.
What did you make of last night's results?
Oh, it's the worst thing. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst thing. I'm still processing it. I'm heartbroken.
It hits you, right? Like at certain points of the day?
I've been crying all day, to be perfectly honest with you. My very talented, lovely makeup artist has done this face like 5 times. It's just, I think it's, I'm really sad about it. I was honored to vote for a female for president for the first time, and I'm trying to hold on to that. But I'm sad and scared, and it was such an exciting day that crashed and burned in a way that I didn't expect it to. So I'm still processing it. I'm going to be processing it for 4 years and 70 days, you know?
Oh, God.
Here we go, gang.
Here we go. 70 days, huh? That's one.
70 days. Yeah.
Oi, Anna, oi.
Want.
I know.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Bummer.
That is understatement. Let's get back to your show for a second.
Okay.
You said that your relationship with David/Burton is true and real, and maybe not meant to exist. Is it real?
Yes.
So she does.
Well, that's not. I'm not speaking to the literal. Does she exist or not?
I tried to get
Because
that out
I
of him when
can't.
he was here, and he wouldn't answer.
Yeah. We are not allowed to answer that question. However, love transcends time, space, reality. Love is the most powerful thing in the world. and our love is real.
And we'll find out at
And
some
you'll
point.
find out more, yeah. You'll find out more tomorrow night.
For you, what's been the most challenging part of playing the woman in red?
Probably the most challenging part of playing the woman in red is that her language is so poetic and her circumstances are so unique that it's important to ground her in reality. It's important to tell a normal, real, relatable human love story and not play into the dreamscape or the poetry of the beautiful poetry of the language, but to ground yourself in her love for Burton and his love for her and that very human relationship that so many of us are lucky enough to relate to. So that, just never playing into the ethereal dreaminess of it, but always staying grounded in the love.
And did you and David instantly connect?
Yeah, I mean, he's so cute and so sweet. He's just darling, and he has a beautiful accent.
Oh, that accent. Oh, when he was here, I was like, keep talking, just never stop talking.
Yeah, we all feel that way at Falling Water. We feel strongly that way. And he's just a lovely, open, wonderful, beautiful soul. And I'm super open as well, and I try to be lovely and beautiful. So yeah, we got along really well, and we work really similarly. I buy a new perfume for all my characters because I feel like scent is really powerful. And he had this, I told him about that, and he had this really good idea that we buy a scent for one another so that when I smell, like this smell that I pick out and he's wearing it and I smell it, it's like, you know when you smell your like lover's smell? It's like powerful. So we did that. So like I picked out this delicious cologne and he picked out this yummy perfume, and so.
Which one? Or is it a secret?
I honestly just smelled it. I literally have no idea what the one I bought him is called. But the one he bought me is called Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very
like
I can't
spicy,
yes.
and it's like the shape of a star.
And it's vanilla-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
best fragrance.
Yeah.
That is totally what she would wear.
Yes, and it's what he likes. So it was a powerful tool, and all those little tools add up to give truth to the story. And so we both work in that way. We'd like pass notes and stuff, and he's just a really great coworker for this very specific and strange job that we were working together on.
And now for our audience, please.
Hey, Anna. Thank
Hey.
you for being here.
Hi.
What's the rehearsal process like for Falling Water?
So we get the script, even though we're shooting an episode, we'll get the script for the next one about 1 or 2 weeks in advance. And for those 2 weeks, we have an opportunity to powwow with the creator, ask him any questions we have. And then if it's a scene that's really heavy or the shots are complicated or there's a lot of us in it, we'll get together and just sort of map it out a little bit. But really a lot of the organic acting, human connection stuff happens kind of on the day. You show up, you get your hair and makeup done, you squeeze into a dress, and you stay present. And a lot of that stuff just happens in the moment.
Next question, please.
Hello.
Hi.
I wanted to know, how do you think your acting and acting career would be different if you hadn't gone to acting school?
If I had what? Sorry.
Gone to acting school.
If I hadn't gone to acting school. I honestly don't think I'd be here if I hadn't gone to acting school. For me personally, acting school was everything. It'll always be one of the best times of my life. What I learned in acting school that I didn't have before and that I use every single day, both acting and in life, is, well, the philosophy that I said earlier, the fuck it, the ability to not care about, like, what do I have to lose if I don't dive in with my whole heart and body and soul? Like, it just taught me to say, like, to give myself freedom. And before that, I didn't have freedom. I was a little more self-conscious. You know, sometimes you see people acting, they, like, don't know how to use their arms, like, don't know what to do with their bodies because they're not comfortable in them. It gave me a comfortableness, a comfort, and a permission to use my entire voice and body and heart and soul as a tool to tell the story, which I didn't even have a concept of before school.
And we have time for one more question, please.
Hey, Anna.
Hi.
So since the show's about lucid dreaming, have you ever started to decide to like lucid dream? Have you had any powerful lucid dreams or just powerful dreams in general that made you think about life differently?
Great question. I'm not at lucid dreaming yet, although Lizzie, again, who plays Tess, she gave literally everyone on the show, I think, like drivers, crew, cast, creative team, she gave us all this book about yoga for lucid dreaming. So I'm tearing through that right now and trying to be more aware and more present in my dreams. I do have powerful dreams. I have weird dreams, and I have some like weirdly normal dreams. Like I had a dream that I got a new dog and it was like peeing and I had to clean up the pee. Like, but I have a reoccurring dream. Like that's not a dream-like dream. But I have a reoccurring dream that inspires me a lot. It's I have a recurring dream that there's a huge, this is a great metaphor for today. There's a huge tsunami coming my way, and it's really daunting and scary. And yet somehow in this dream, I never allow myself to be afraid, and I like body surf it and rock it out, and I just like float around on the tsunami and just have kind of a great time given my jarring circumstances. And so like I sort of keep that dream in mind and try to be the girl that can surf the tsunami as much as I can, give or take, but I try to surf the tsunami, if you will.
That's actually, like you said, a great metaphor for today.
Thank you.
Really nice note to end our conversation on.
Awesome.
And when can we watch Falling Water?
You can watch Falling Water Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on USA.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thanks, guys.